I tend sometimes to have a different outlook on life, and I don't want to be the person who is out here telling her family and her friends like you should be content with what you got. I can reference like some of the songs that really moved me, because she did move me. Hayden did move me. She was incredibly talented. She was incredibly beautiful. She had a full personality. I know that because I am a writer, and so, but I think for us fans, we can kind of contend with it in that sense. I can look at Hayden and see, like, for me who didn't have that personal connection where like her death breaks me, I cannot appreciate her life more than her family does. I cannot appreciate her life more than her friends do. But I feel like I can appreciate, I have a perspective that allows me to appreciate the fullness of her life and the way she lived her life than maybe those who are really feeling the loss in this moment in time. Again, I am talking about everything and everyone without arriving to Hayden. I think for me, Hayden stood out on that show way and above, far beyond anybody else. She was my favorite character. Her Juliet Barnes, very well written character, very well performed. And I thought maybe I could look at, well, the story of her life, her death a little bit on the website that I liked for. Again, I am in Kiambu, Mushada over here. The website that I write for on theblast.com. I thought I could go in there, look at a bit of her stories of her life, stories of her passing that we have so far. But then try and see a bit of her music. Of course, I can't play it because of copyright, but I can reference like some of the songs that really moved me, because she did move me. Hayden did move me. She was incredibly talented. She was incredibly beautiful. She had a full personality. I know that because I am a writer, and so I have written a few times about Hayden. I remember when she was in a relationship with the boxer Klitschko. I think she was married to Klitschko. I think they have a child together. So she's the kind of celebrity that you can always kind of find a story to write about. And I don't even mean that like in a like a juicy, saucy, gossipy way. I just mean like Hayden was full of life. And so I myself, who you know, I tend sometimes to have a different outlook on life, and I don't want to be the person who is out here telling her family and her friends like you should be content with what you got. But I think for us fans, we can kind of contend with it in that sense. I can look at Hayden and see, like, for me who didn't have that personal connection where like her death breaks me, it's easier for me to look back at her life and really in this moment feel like appreciate the fullness. So I cannot appreciate her life more than her family does. I cannot appreciate her life more than her friends do. But I feel like I can appreciate, I have a perspective that allows me to appreciate the fullness of her life and the way she lived her life than maybe those who are really feeling the loss in this moment in time. Of course, our hearts, my heart goes out to anyone who was close to Hayden. Yeah. And I hope Hayden gets to have a good afterlife, because I believe in life after here. So rest in peace, Hayden Panettiere. Our website that I write for, theblast.com. Wow. Maybe this is a good one. Afuda. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link to this so you know I used your article. So Hayden Panettiere's life journey tipped the scales. The late actress built a career in the entertainment industry from infancy and rose to fame as a TV star and singer early on. As the years went by, her personal life, I didn't know that she was a child star, by the way. I saw a clip of her talking as a child star today. Of course, like I mentioned, I really know her from Nashville, but then that's really a wide world, because in Nashville it's not just the acting, it's also the music. And then she also comes later on in her life to talk about how some of the challenges that her character went through, she also went through in her own life. And so for me, despite the fact that I know her really just mostly from Nashville, it does feel like I did get to know her quite a bit. Again, I'm not gonna claim her in the same way, like I'm not gonna claim a connection to her in the same way I felt, like the loss I felt, for instance, when Chadwick Boseman passed. But it doesn't mean that I didn't, like just by virtue of that one show, I really felt like I got, and of course, like I said, as a writer, writing stories about her and her family, yeah, you get to connect with these people just on a level that you don't realize until when they are gone. Then you realize, oh, that person actually meant something to me. Maybe not the entire world, but they did mean something to me. So she passed away at the age of 36. That's really sad. Her death was confirmed after paramedics responded to an emergency call. So let's look at a bit of her life, less of her death. She started building her portfolio as a baby. Appeared in her first commercial at age 11, One Life to Live. Received nominations for Best Actress. Okay. She paid a painful price for budding youngster fame, as most people tend to do. She published a memoir earlier this year. Wow. See, I told you, I think she's lived a full life, man. It's, yeah. I think she was a Christian. So in that sense, knowing her background, I hope she got to know Christ before she died. And hopefully gets to have a fulfilling and less stressful, and not stressful, I should say, afterlife. So yeah, I don't want to overdo it. This is my favorite song. Yeah. Now, I don't know how much of copyright is gonna be an issue. I'm gonna play the whole thing. No, I'm gonna play bits of the thing. Yeah, let me show you. Let's start it over here. Starts with like a J-cut or something. I also have to say that this song has always been one of my favorite Hayden Panettiere songs. From way back in the day, ever since I watched the show. But listening back to it again today, it kind of felt so poignant. Is that the word? Resonant. It felt resonant for where I'm at in my life. And also for the things that God has been doing in my life. So I don't know how much of it I can play without risking the copyright thing. So some weird things going on there. Okay, let me pause it there just to avoid the copyright issues. But man, what a song. What a singer. I think there's a line that goes something like this is the I think this is now when I talk about it being resonant. So it says my swords my swords long being buried, piled on the dirt. Speak to me your promises, resurrect your word. Those of you who have been with me on my platform understand why those words would resonate so strongly, especially with where I'm at in my journey right now. But right now, it's not about me. It's about Hayden and her family and her friends and her fans. So all of us, may her soul rest in peace. I hope I'll see Hayden once again one day, because I believe in that kind of stuff.